YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and today I am rolling through the great state of Wisconsin. Kind of a gloomy day, but kind of nice at the same time. Got the snow on the ground, and this is one of my favorite areas to actually drive through in the state of Wisconsin. And that is the western part of it, kind of the northwestern part of it. You take I-90 and I-94 split off in Tomah, Wisconsin, and 94 goes up into St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that stretch between where 94 and 90 split off in Tomah, Wisconsin, all the way to St. Paul, Minnesota, it's really beautiful through here. A lot of hills and mountainous, really a mountainous area. Kind of got that northern style wooded area. So it's really pretty, and too bad it's a gloomy day, because especially whenever it is nice and sunny with a blue sky, it is absolutely perfect out here. So anyway, yeah, I'm rolling through Wisconsin. I got a load out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, and that is headed down to Atlanta, Georgia. I dropped this load off in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am headed to Alabama, and that load in Alabama goes to Fort Worth, Texas, and then I will have about a week and a half before I go home for home time. So I'm just kind of explaining everything that I'm doing today and throughout the next few days. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. But in today's video, if you're new to the channel, I would appreciate it if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out some more of my other videos that I'll recommend to you at the end of this one. And let me get right into it. So the topic of this video is going to be, is the money good in trucking? Is the money good in trucking? Is it worth doing? And I'm going to give you my thoughts about the money in trucking, right? Because that's what really most new people care about, is whether the money is good or not. And I'm going to answer this in a way that pretty much somebody in any industry can relate to, or somebody going into any career can relate to. And the reason that I'm going to explain it in that way is because the same principles, in my opinion, to success apply to every single industry that's out there. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You could be a movie star, or somebody, an actress or an actor trying to become a movie star, or a reality TV star, whatever. You could be an athlete, somebody who's aspiring to be a professional athlete. There's a difference, an athlete and professional athlete. You could be somebody that has ambition to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a truck driver, so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter what that field is. There's a difference between the ones that succeed and get to the money and success, and the ones who don't. And trucking is no different. And that's why I started out telling you that what I'm talking about is going to apply to anything that you do. Okay? And I think a lot of people don't quite understand that when they're first getting into the trucking industry. They just look at it as a way to make quick money. And in some ways, they are right. You can come in, go to a school, go through a company, and make, $60K a year and a little bit more. But if you want to get to the real money, which I believe real money is 6 figures or more, right? You start making real money at about 6 figures or more. Okay, that's what I think is starting to become a high income. Okay, and so can you make 6 figures in trucking? And at first, I thought I would have to become an owner-operator to make 100K or more a year when I first got into the trucking industry. To be honest with you, I thought that's what I would have to do, is become an owner-operator, because I personally know people who are owner-operators, and I do know what kind of money they make. A lot of them make more than doctors. Actually, the majority of the ones I do know, they do make more than regular doctors, unless that doctor's specialized or something like that. Then a solo owner-operator is not going to quite bring in that kind of money. But if someone owns a fleet in the trucking business, which is different than being a driver. So this video is, can you make great money as a driver. Now, I can also talk about the great money as a business person in the trucking industry. So, let's say, you want to get into trucking, you want to drive. Well, everybody usually starts off as a driver, like myself. I'm not an owner-operator, I'm a company driver. However, can you make six figures just being a company driver? Yes, you can, because I am that person who is actually doing that. Okay, I am finally to the point where I am making six figures in my life. It took me now 3 years to get to this point. And so I don't want people listening to this video to think, oh, he just started making six figures right away. He's lying about the income in trucking. No, I'm not lying to you about the income. And because the potential to make six figures in trucking is absolutely there. Okay? But the majority of company drivers will not actually reach that point. Why? Because most people, and this is in every single field, like I was saying to you before at the beginning of this video, most people are unwilling to make the sacrifices necessary to reach that level of success in any field. Okay? And that is the thing. If you are somebody that wants to be home a lot, home on weekends, home on holidays, take a lot of time off, that work-life balance mentality, are you going to make a lot of money in trucking? And I told you, my standard of a lot of money, as far as income goes, is $100,000 a year or more. That's my standard. Your standard may be different. It may be $70,000 a year or more. See, success is relative anyway. Everybody has a different opinion about success. To me, $100,000 is the beginning of making a lot of money. That's the beginning. I truly believe if you make $100,000 a year or more, you are finally at the point where you can cover all your necessary expenses and living costs and all the things that you have to take care of, and you can still save and invest and get ahead at that point. I believe almost anybody in the country can do that, okay? Unless you live in places like downtown LA, San Francisco, New York City and things like that. Those are anomalies, right? But the majority of the country, $100,000 a year or more is where you're really starting to get ahead, okay? That's just my standard of it, right? So can you reach that point as a truck driver? You can 100% reach that point as a person in the trucking industry. There's plenty of people that make above six figures in the trucking industry, okay? But specifically as a truck driver, is the money good? Well, it depends who you are as a person, okay? It depends. There's people that make $20,000 a year more than a guy at the same company. You have two drivers standing side by side. One driver is making $20,000 a year more than the one standing next to him, and they make the exact same pay rate, right? And the reason that guy makes $20,000 a year more than the other guy is because he's not going home on weekends. He's not going home every 2 weeks. He's willing to train. He's willing to lease. He's willing to recruit other drivers to his company. He's willing to do what the majority, the masses, the 99% of people out there are unwilling to do. He's willing to be uncomfortable and sacrifice to get ahead. And if you're unwilling to do that, I don't care what field you go into, you are not going to be successful. So the answer is, and like I said, the topic of the video is the money good in trucking? Is it good? Well, again, it depends. First, you have to define, well, what's good to you, right? Success is relative. A lot of money is relative. But then you have to figure out, okay, how do I get to that point? hustle and grind and not complain and do what you got to do to get to where you want to go, and you can stand a little pain and sacrifice, then yes, you will make really good money in trucking. You will. Do not limit yourself to what you can do. Do not have self-limiting beliefs, and you will succeed in the trucking business. And like I said, I'm not an owner-operator yet. I have plans to become an owner-operator in the future. I also have plans to go beyond that. That may not be your goal. That's okay. It doesn't have to be your goal. Your goal and my goal are different. But can you succeed in trucking? That's the question. And I'm answering it in the video because that's the topic. Can you make a lot of money in trucking? Yes. This is a nearly $1 trillion business. However, this industry produces domestically $1 trillion a year. Okay? And it's going to keep growing. So the demand for truck drivers is high. The demand is high. I made a video about whether there's a truck driver shortage. So if you're thinking about getting into this industry and you're willing to lay it on the line, you can get out here and make great money, and you will have a great long-term career in this business because our economy is growing. So the demand for trucks is going to grow. The demand for drivers is going to grow. So the pay is going to grow. The pay is going to go up across the board. That's my prediction in this industry. Hey, I may be wrong, but I really think the pay is going to continue to go up for truck drivers and get better and better for us. Okay, I really do. And so pretty soon it won't be within, as long as you have experience and you're willing to do the work, like I've been saying, you will be able to get to that six-figure mark. Okay, especially with the demand for truck drivers right now. Okay, because like I said, the pay rates are going to go up. They have to go up to attract new drivers. They have to. It's just common sense. And so, but if you're not willing to work and you're lazy and you stay at home, they could be paying you 80 cents a mile. But if you're only working like 2 weeks out of the month, you're not going to make a lot of money even at 80 cents a mile. Okay? Whether they pay you percentage or whatever, it really doesn't matter how you get paid. If you're not doing the work, how are you going to make money? That's in any field. That's in any field. Are you willing to study? Are you willing to learn about the actual business that you're in? Are you willing to do that? That's a question I can't answer that question for you. You have to answer that question for yourself. Okay? You just do, right? Just like you can't answer it for me. But one thing I have learned in the last few years is that money and success is created in your mind. It is not, yes, it's physically created, but first, it's seen with your mind. Okay? Money isn't even a real thing. Success is relative. And success and money are made with your mind. It first starts with your mindset, and it also, like think about it. A lot of people don't look at all the different options, all the different aspects of this industry. So they fail to see the money in it. It's $1 trillion industry, but only 10% of the people in the industry control 90% of that revenue. 10% control 90% of that $1 trillion. So how can I, instead of complaining about the 10% and how rich they are, how about I learn from the 10% and what they're doing differently than the other 90%? And how can I get in that 10%? I don't want to complain about it. Why? Because what good does complaining do? Don't complain. Just figure out how you can become part of the 10%. And believe me, most people watching this video probably won't become part of the 10% because they're unwilling to do what they got to do to get ahead. I know that. That's okay. And that's not a shot at you personally if you're watching this video. I don't mean to offend you, but it's just the truth. We all know that. And it's just a statistical fact that I still believe we live in the greatest country in the world. I still believe that. Even with all the crap that's going on right now, I still wouldn't. I don't want to be in any other country in the world other than this one, with all its faults and with all the stuff going on. And it would be selfish of me to have the freedom that I have, the economic freedom that I have in this country, and not take advantage of that opportunity, of those opportunities, and not use my gifts and talents and my work ethic. That would be wrong of me to do that. That's what I truly believe. I believe it's my obligation to utilize and get the most out of my abilities as possible. I believe that. And if you're somebody who disagrees with that, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you're somebody who agrees with it, leave a comment. But this has just been on my mind. Like, I don't understand how people don't see how you can become successful in trucking. I just don't see it. Like, there is literally billionaires in the trucking industry. If there's billionaires in your industry, there is a lot of money in that industry. I don't care if you're in the automobile industry. I don't care if you're a plumber. I don't care if you're a doctor, chiropractor, truck driver, fleet owner. Doesn't matter. The money is there. If that industry produces billions or trillions of dollars, then there is an opportunity in that industry. But the question is not, does the industry have the money? No. Do you see the money? Do you see the success in that industry? Do you see it with your mind? Right? And that's the difference between somebody who is successful in this industry and creates a great life out of it, and who is average. The average person thinks small. The above average person, the successful person, is seeing the macro, the bigger picture of what's going on around them, and they find their lane and stick to it. They don't try to do a million things at once. They find their lane and stick to it, okay? So an example of that in trucking would be, okay, I'm in drive-in. I want to be great in this division. I'm not worried about learning about step deck. Why? Because I don't want to do step deck. I like the drive-in division, okay? And this is just an example. So I need to master the art of being great in this division. I need to learn about all the different shippers and receivers and customers and every aspect of this division as I can and become a master at it. Instead of learning reefer, drive-in, flatbed, step deck, and being a jack of all trades, but a master in none. No, I need to focus and hone in on something and become great at that. That's just what I think, okay? I'm not saying don't dabble and try different things to see where you fit in. But once you find that thing where you really like what you're doing, once you've found that niche, you need to stick to that niche and become great at it and learn everything you can about that area of the business. Because there's a lot of money in every division in trucking. If there wasn't a lot of money in it, you wouldn't have all these big trucking companies. If there was no money in it, you wouldn't be producing $1 trillion a year in one industry if there was no money in trucking. Can you make six figures? You can 100% make six figures if you've got some work ethic. That is 100% a fact. I know people at my company that make six figures. My trainer showed me his pay stubs. He made six figures. Okay? That's why when I hit 2 years of experience, I waited a little longer. I waited till after my third year to start training, but I knew, hey, once I start training, I'm going to be making six figures a year. Okay? Because I stay out, I run, and I do what I got to do to make the money. I'm not bragging, I'm trying to inspire. where I'm at right now, I don't see this as successful yet. But I'm on my way. I want to become successful. That's the key. Okay, I know there's people out there doing better than me and people out there doing worse than me. I don't really care about what's going on with other people, for better or worse. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on how I can change my life and ultimately benefit my wife and my kid that's coming in about 6 weeks. That's what I'm focused on. How can I provide for them and create a great life for them? I'm not focused on how I'm doing better than the rest of the world or worse than the rest of the world. I don't focus on what other people are doing. And if someone's doing better than me, I admire that, actually. I think that's a big thing. If I see somebody winning in an area that I want to win at, I'm not going to be jealous or envious of them. I'm going to go talk to them and get information out of them, if I can, to try to learn and apply that to my life so that I can improve my skill set, so that I can improve my family's and my situation. And so, moral of the story, moral of what I'm talking about, I'm going to wrap it up. And like I said, please check out the videos. Recommend it at the end of this one if you liked this video, okay? But the moral of the story, is there a lot of money in trucking? The answer is yes, there is, if you're willing to go after it and get it. If you're willing to understand that it is going to be a process. It is going to take a year to 3 years before you start making the real money in trucking, okay? For most people. Let me clarify. If you have a lot of money coming in and you just got to get your CDL so you can go buy your own equipment and you can start your business right away, I'm not talking to you because that's not the majority. There are anomalies like that start out and blow the doors off their first year. But 95% of people coming into trucking and coming into most careers are starting from nothing. Okay? So that's really who this video is for. And if you're somebody who started off blowing the doors off and that's how you started, great. Cool. Congratulations. But that's not who this video is really. Okay? So, yeah, the right mindset, the right work ethic. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Look at this industry from 30,000 feet instead of having a small mind about it. Okay? Because there's so many more opportunities than just driving. Become a business person in this industry. Okay? That's what you got to do. Have a business mind, whether you're a company driver, a lease driver, owner-operator, fleet owner, doesn't matter. You need to think like a business person in order to be successful. Okay? And that's my opinion. That is my opinion. I appreciate you for watching this whole video if you've made it all the way through. And there will be more videos like this in the future. God bless. I really appreciate you for watching. And peace out.